In our 4.5 years on the road, we've been to a lot of RV parks. Some of them great, some of them not so great. And we want to talk to the RV park owners out there.
And those people who are potentially looking to open an RV park.
And just let you know what it is you need to do to cater to full-time RVers. Hi, I'm Felix.
And I'm Cindy.
In 2019, we sold everything and moved into our RV full-time.
Since then, we've traveled the country following my nursing contracts.
We are the Roaming Gomes. Welcome back, roamers. And for those of you new to the channel, I'm Felix.
And I'm Cindy.
And we are the Roaming Gomes. And finally, after 15 months here in Tucson, we're going to put the roaming back in the Roaming Gomes.
Yes, we have been here 15 months doing a nursing contract at Tucson Medical Center, and now we're getting ready to go to a new place.
And this is hands down the longest Cindy's ever taken a contract for. And our next destination is... Ready?
Cottonwood, Arizona.
Exactly. We are going to Cottonwood, Arizona. It's just outside of Sedona, and everybody around here that tells me they've been there says it is the place to be.
It's a very small town, and it is a small hospital. I've never worked at a hospital this small before. It's 87 beds in the whole hospital, and
this was kind of like a little kind of mini bucket list item for you.
Yeah, I've always wanted to try a small hospital. So I've always been at hospitals that had, I think the smallest I've ever been had like 600 beds, maybe 400, and on up to my original hospital had 1,500 beds. So it's going to be interesting, going to be a little different atmosphere, I'm sure. And we have seen and heard and read a lot about Cottonwood. I want to say Cottontown for some reason. Cottonwood, and it is a historic town, and it's near Sedona, it's near Jerome, it is near a lot of highlights in northern Arizona, so we're looking forward to getting started on our contract there.
And today we want to talk to you guys out there that either own RV parks or are considering opening an RV park. We've seen a lot on social media lately about people saying, you know, I have a piece of land and we were thinking about putting a few spots on it, you know, making it into a little RV park. What do you guys think we need to have?
Yeah, what attracts people to RV parks?
And we're kind of a different section of the full-time RV community. You have these people that, and some of the really big RV channels that you see out there are like this. They're traveling consistently, going from place to place to place to place. They live full-time in their RV, and they're moving at most every 14 days, maybe. And then you have your weekend warriors and your vacationers and people that are just going out for a weekend and camping. We stay in a spot for usually, what?
3 to 6 months,
yeah.
Usually.
And this, like I said, this 15 months is hands down the longest we've ever stayed somewhere. And we're not traveling because we don't have anything better to do. We're traveling to follow Cindy's nursing contracts. And there are a lot of us out here on the road that are doing things like that.
There are a lot of different jobs that people are doing. There's, we've met some people working on oil fields, construction work, lots of different things that people do that are temporary contract type work in one area, and then they move on to another area. So there is definitely a market for longer term.
There are a ton of travel nurses out there.
Yeah, it's grown, especially with COVID. It grew a lot because the money was good back then, and it's still pretty good now. But it's not slowing down. Travel nursing is still very popular. There's still a lot of people applying for the jobs that are out there, and so they're looking for places to go.
And if you're going to be catering to that demographic, then it's important that you understand that you don't need to have the big fancy resort. If you're in an area that's really hot, like here, Tucson, have a pool.
Yeah.
Make sure your laundry facilities are good.
Good meaning clean and in working condition. If something breaks down, make sure it gets fixed promptly.
Which is something we didn't have at one of the RV parks we stayed at. You need to have the basic amenities, and they need to be in good working order.
Basic to us really is laundry, dog park, dog areas where you can walk your dogs. Most everybody in this RV park are full-time RVers, or they are seasonal RVers where they come and stay for the winter, which is several months. And the vast majority of these RVs have at least one dog in them.
Oh, absolutely.
Dogs of all sizes.
And I mean, as you know from our previous videos, we have a dog. And if you want to be really nice with the dog park, have a separate section for big and small dogs. I mean, we have a very small dog. I honestly don't take him into this dog park because generally there's somebody in there with a big dog.
Yeah.
Have nice surroundings. You know, keep your RV park neat and tidy. Level spots. Good electrical and plumbing hookups.
And if you really want to stand out from the crowd, have some decent Wi-Fi.
Because honestly, in all of the RV parks we've stayed in, I don't think there's ever been one that had Wi-Fi that we could have used on a consistent basis.
No, you can maybe check your email or look at Facebook or some little something like that, but no streaming whatsoever. No.
Yeah, I mean, even watching YouTube videos was a bit of a chore.
Yeah.
For example, Sunny Acres RV Park in Las Cruces, New Mexico. We listed it as our number 3 on the top 3 places we stayed. And quite honestly, if it had one simple amenity, it could have been number 2.
Yeah.
And the bottom line is Las Cruces has the same type of conditions as here. It's very hot in the summer. They didn't have a pool.
Yeah.
Instead, they had a couple of pickleball courts. Okay, fine. You know, pickleball has gotten pretty big.
Yeah.
But it would have been a whole lot nicer if they'd had a pool.
And they probably could have done both with the area that they had.
Well, yeah.
So, another thing that we don't use very often, but a lot of people do, is the bathhouses. They have, most RV parks have a bathhouse and public restrooms that are kind of in the same building, or sometimes 2 buildings. And there are some people that prefer to take their showers in that type of shower where you have more room actually and more hot water and that kind of thing. And some people just prefer to do that. We do our showers here in our rig. We don't really care one way or the other, but a lot of people prefer to do that. So if you're going to have bathhouses, make sure they're in good working order and clean.
Clean being a key here. I have seen bathhouses, and there have been times when I just said, you know what, I feel like going to take a shower in the big boy shower. You know, and there have been showers and bathhouses that we have looked at and gone into that were really bad. I mean, they were, not only were they dirty, but they were old and dirty.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter if it's old. If it's clean and operates well, that's great.
Another thing that long-term RVers would like, and a lot of times require, to stay at an RV park is mail service. Here we have a mailbox designated to us, and they also receive packages here. So we order a lot from Amazon. Some things we order on a regular basis, like coffee and things that we want to keep in stock, that are received at the office, which is very nice, because a lot of places, sometimes Amazon has these like independent drivers and they don't know how to get around an RV park for some reason, even though the address is well numbered. it's just very much more convenient to have it at the office, and then we can just go pick it up. And our mail we can get at any time because we have a key for our box. So having a mail service is something that is very much desired by people that are staying for a long term. People that stay for weeks and 2 weeks or a few days, that's not really a big issue. But since we stay 3 to 6 months or 15 months somewhere, we really like to be able to get our mail at where we are instead of having to go to a post office or go to Amazon drop boxes or whatever.
Or even Escapee's mail service where, we have to get the mail sent from there to here.
So there's a lot of different options for mail, but obviously the most convenient is to be able to get it right here at the park.
And, something Cindy kind of talked about, make sure your spots are marked clearly, very clearly, because it's not just about mail. We often get DoorDash delivered, or occasionally Pizza Hut. If they're driving around this park and they have no way of telling what site number this is, we had somebody from DoorDash drop our stuff on the other side of the park.
Sometimes it's just laziness. They're not looking.
Yeah.
But the best RV parks we've stayed at have had very good signage where at the corners they'll say this number through this number down this street, this number through this number down this street. So it's very, very easy for somebody to find a certain number. Here they're also painted on the road right outside your lot, so it's easy to find. Some places not so much. You kind of have to guess at it, but for those things that you want to have delivered to you individually at your home when it's outside of office hours, that's something to look for and something that would be desirable for long-term people. If you're someone who's thinking about maybe opening an RV park and thinking about where would be a good place, you definitely want to be at a location that's central to what your area is known for, within good driving distance. You want to be in, if you can, a scenic area like where we are now. We are right smack in the middle of the desert, so we get a lot of wildlife, a lot of flora and fauna that changes throughout the seasons. We have mountains all around us, so it's very beautiful to just sit out here when the weather's nice and be able to see what this area has to offer. You don't want, for people that are going to stay for a long periods, you don't want to be in a metropolitan area where there's traffic, or like one place we were that
consistent noise.
Yeah, one that had a what was that beside of us in Oklahoma?
Scrapyard.
Scrapyard, wrecking yard. It was constant noise all day.
It literally started at 7 a.m. and didn't end until 5:30 p.m.
Very loud. And so you have to think about those things. Stand there on the land you're looking at. Is this somewhere you'd want to stay for 3 months? Is this somewhere that you would want, something you'd want to look at for 3 months?
And we're not saying that it's got to be out in the middle of the desert like here and then nothing but wilderness around you. But again, I'll go back to Sunny Acres. Sunny Acres was in the middle of Las Cruces. It was right smack dab in the middle of Las Cruces. And to the point where we had literally had a Family Dollar that we backed up to.
Yeah.
Okay? And you didn't get that feeling of being in the middle of everything and everything was noisy and crazy and stupid. I mean, the only noise we ever got there was when Family Dollar emptied their dumpsters.
Trash, yeah.
Okay?
But they had it situated in that area in a way, and with trees and things surrounding them, so that you didn't feel like you were in the middle of the city.
Situational awareness.
Yeah.
That's really what it all comes down to.
Yeah, just looking around it. Also, being near an interstate is helpful if you want to cater to overnight guests that just want to pop in, spend the night, and carry on with their journey. They would at least be able to just jump off the interstate if you can have that convenience here. We're very, very close to the main interstate here, so.
And to that point, it doesn't. We're not saying that you should cater only to full-timers like us. Okay, I mean, our favorite RV park, Tifton KOA Journey, catered primarily to short-term stays. People staying a night, 2 nights, a week maybe. And all of those spots were up in front of the park. And separate in the park at the back were all of the longer term stays. It's simple if you think it through.
It made a lot of sense because then we weren't disturbed by people coming in late or leaving early. You know, on days that we didn't have anything planned, we weren't bothered by people going in and out that had stayed the night before or were coming in late that night. We didn't even know it really till we woke up the next day and saw some new trailers there. So
here's the point, the kind of the bottom line for all of this. If you want to attract the widest range of customers to your RV park, you have to know your audience. You have to know your, like I said, situational awareness. Don't just slap a couple of spots on an empty piece of land and be done with it. Think about it beforehand. And, you know, the more amenities generally means the higher the price.
yeah.
Okay? And we don't want to pay, and most of the people that we've spoken to that are in the same situation don't want to pay exorbitant monthly fees.
And for things that we wouldn't use. So if people want to go stay at a true resort, RV resort with all kinds of kids activities and water parks and slides and playgrounds, that's great. Then they charge a little more for those things.
But know that that is what your
Audience
is. That's what you're catering to.
Yeah.
Don't try to put yourself off as a family campground where you can, you know, come and stay for, you know, your 3 to 6 months or whatever, and everything's, and we're going in there and it's $1,200 a month, or
Plus electricity.
Which we have actually heard. There's one right here in Tucson that was going to charge us. I'm not even going to say the name. I'm not going to call them out, but they were going to charge us when we first came here in 2020. They were going to charge us $1,200 a month plus electricity. We were like, we almost, until we found Cactus Country, we were to the point where we were like, oh man, where are we going to find an RV park?
Yeah, because that's ridiculous. Know what your audience wants. Know what your customers want. Offer that and do it well. Have good, friendly staff. Have good, quick repairs on things. Make sure everything's in good working order, and you should not have any problem keeping your RV park full.
And if you want to see our top 3 and bottom 3 RV parks, check out this video right here. See you in Cottonwood next week. Not Cotton Town.
Cottonwood.